And it doesn't matter whether the speech is at plenary or at committee. A speech is a speech in Parliament. So where, in the opinion of the Speaker, the words of a member used in a speech are offensive, abusive, insulting, blasphemous, or unbecoming, impute improper motives, or impugns the integrity of a member or any other person, the Speaker may order that the member withdraws those words or withdraw and apologize. Mr. Speaker, when we came into this chamber, and this committee meeting room, and you started, you referred to the nominee as Chief Justice. When you refer to the nominee as Chief Justice, the minority objected to the reference to the nominee as Chief Justice and said that he is not a Chief Justice, he is a nominee to the post of Chief Justice, and so you must refer to him appropriately. Or acting Chief Justice, because he's also an acting Chief Justice. And an acting Chief Justice is a Chief Justice. Now, he has referred to the nominee as a disputed nominee. Disputed nominee. Disputed nominee. You are in court what? Are you in court litigating his nomination? No. Are you in court disputing his nomination? You are not in court challenging his nomination. So to the extent that you are not in court challenging his nomination, there is no dispute about his nomination. If there is a dispute about some other action. So you have no right to look him in the face here before this committee and refer to him as a disputed nominee and expect me to sit here and not respond. So, Mr. Chairman, pursuant to our own rules, he has to withdraw and apologize to him for referring to him as a disputed nominee when he is not a disputed nominee.
Chairman, let me.
Honourable members.
Chairman, he has had two opportunities to make a point. Let me respond to
Honourable members, Honourable Minority Leader, listen to what I will have to say.
Okay.
Please proceed and raise your issue. Avoid the use of disputed Chief Justice. Once I do not have a right to refer to him as a Chief Justice, but Chief Justice nominee, let us all observe that rule and refer to him as such.
Let me be unequivocally clear. The minority in Parliament objects to and unequivocally condemns the coordinated campaign to subjudicate Ghana's judiciary to political domination. Chairman, the facts speak for themselves.
I object again. I object again.
On the 22nd
I object again.
April,
I object again, Chairman.
On 22nd of April,
I object again.
2025.
Chairman, I object again. I object.
Hold on. Honourable members, I think at this particular point, I must place on record that I have admonished that we should all operate within the ambit of the law. Honourable Minority Leader, be guided by Order 103D, and then let's make progress. And Order 103D, if I may read, to serve as a guide to all of us. It states that a motion shall relate to a definite issue and not revive the consideration of a matter which had been considered in the same meeting unless new matters have arisen. Honourable members, by necessary implication, whether a motion or not, the principles of res judicata will not permit us that a matter that has been raised on the floor resolve to its finality would be permitted to be raised at a committee meeting. So, Honorable Minority Leader, refrain from anything that is relating to sub judice rules and let's make progress, with all due respect. Because Speaker has dealt with this matter, I have also personally dealt partly with this particular matter, with all due respect.
Chairman, the facts speak for themselves. On April 22nd, 2025, Chief Justice Gertrude Araba Isaba Tokonu was suspended as a result of a prima facie determination by the Council of State as contained in the public announcement made by the executive. We, the minority, hold the view that the subsequent committee that was set up under the chairmanship of His Lordship Gabriel Scott Puama to trial the Chief Justice amounted to a travesty of justice.
Chairman.
The removal
our rules are clearly offended.
in the language
Our rules are
of
clearly
judicial
offended.
accountability.
Because the rules I just read clearly offend that.
But
The rules clearly are offended. Chairman, the rules say that the conduct of the Speaker, the Chief Justice, members and justices of the Superior Court of Judicature shall not be raised in Parliament except on a substantive motion. He has just raised the question of the conduct of a Supreme Court judge who chaired the committee. And he describes it and the conduct and what the justice did as a travesty of justice. He has raised the conduct of that judge. He has. And the rules are clear. And I can assure you that I will not allow you to breach any inch of the rules today. No inch of the rules will I allow you to breach.
Let me respond to him. Chairman, let me respond to him. Chairman, let me respond to him.
I cannot go and be giving you the opportunity when the person who is speaking is in the process of responding to the issue.
It doesn't fit in the rules.
Yes, Honourable Minority Leader, you have the floor.
Mr. Chairman,
Honourable members, order. Honourable Oman, order.
Mr. Chairman, let me make these preliminary comments before I address.
In response to...
Yes, before I address, I've made an observation. The learned Attorney General knows how much I respect him. He knows how much I respect him. And this must be reciprocated by him. When the respected learned Mahama Ayariga, leader of government business, was raising his objection, I remained quiet to listen to him because I know that decency requires that we listen to each other in silence. We are lawyers, and in the East, we must demonstrate that practice in Adaba for people to know that we listen and respond. So please, unless there is another plan that I don't know, but whatever that is happening today, history is watching. Now let me respond to my respected colleague, the majority leader. Chairman, it is his contention that my reference to the committee's work amount to attacking the conduct of its chair. With the greatest respect, I need to be listened to, and he has to pay attention to language as used in context. For the avoidance of doubt, I am repeating that the minority holds the view that the committee's work resulting in the removal of Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice, amount to travesty of justice. It is a view we hold. It does not offend Order 1237. Order 1237, with avoidance of doubt, provides the conduct of the Speaker, the Chief Justice, members of Parliament, the Chief Justice, and Superior Court Justice of Judicature shall not be raised in Parliament except a substantive motion. Now, the distinction must be made. Respected Ayariga, please, bear with me. I've listened to you. The distinctions must be made. Your work in the regular official duties and a critique thereto must be distinguished from personal conduct that one would consider as misbehavior or stated misbehavior. I am not, with the greatest respect, impugning the person of the reputation of my Lord Puaman, who I voted for under the influence of Honorable K.T. Amon. When all the odds were against him, I have nothing personal against him. Because even where there were personal issues that people were attacking his reputation, I was one of the few who stood.
Mr. Chairman.
So I'm not here to attack him.
Mr. Chairman.
And he knows I won't attack him. The caucus is talking about, please, Honorable Ayariga, let me finish. You were allowed to make your point.
Yes, but Honorable Minority Leader, just be brief.
Very well. The committee's work is what we are expressing an opinion on. And we are using very civil language to say that what it did amount to travesty of justice. It's as simple as that. So let me proceed. Chairman, unless the majority leader intends to frustrate everything that the minority has to say by way of its opinion, when did Parliament reduce to this? Where you have the right to say your own, you are the leader of the House. You have unfettered right to rebut. That is the debate we even have on the floor. When there's a debate, you take note. Where you think you disagree, when it gets your turn, you should also say that the committee's work did not amount to travesty of justice. Simplicity. But this issue of one line, point of order, next line, you are marking, don't say this, don't say that. Where are we heading to? The judiciary criticizes the government and members of the public where they disagree in their ruling. We,
Honorable Minority Leader, kindly conclude for me.
The work of even
Please
the
conclude for me. Conclude for me.
I beg you, leader.
Conclude.
We all agreed, Chairman.
Conclude.
Right. So let me proceed.
Honorable members, I have listened to the majority leader.
Travesty of justice is now.
I have listened to the minority minority leader. Honorable members, we should be guided by the principles that if there is an issue on the floor of Parliament which has got to do with another who may not have the opportunity to respond to it, such a thing should not be made on the floor. Now, though Justice Gabriel Poma is here in person, at no point will he have the opportunity of responding to any issue raised about him. None of the committee members will have the opportunity here and then to make comment. Therefore, for you jumping into a conclusion to say that their report amount to a travesty of justice without any of them having the opportunity to respond, offends our rules. I will consequently order that anything in relating to the committee and justice performance should be expunged from our record. That is my ruling.
Chairman,
Kindly proceed.
Chairman, let me protest the rather unacceptable, consistent attempt by the majority leader to obstruct our side's remarks in this process. I know he's your leader, but Chairman, we hold a view that the removal of Her Ladyship Justice Gertrude Araba Isaba Tokonu was cloaked in some opaque circumstances unacceptable to the jurisprudence of our country.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable Minority Leader, you know the rudiment of the game. If you don't want interruptions, let's go by the rules. Other than that, the chairman will be compelled to listen to the person and make ruling.
This one is friendly. Opaque. It's friendly.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Chairman, please. Mr. Chairman, if the minority, led by the minority leader, were to walk out here and invite all the journalists, they could describe the work of the committee in any language. In any language. Nobody. Freedom of speech. But before this Committee of Parliament, the rules are clear. What you can raise and what you cannot raise, and how you can raise it. I'll be surprised if after all these years in this Parliament, you don't understand those rules. I'll be surprised. Yes, I intend to be offensive because he has told me that I am here to deliberately obstruct the minority. What did he say about that? To describe my conduct here as deliberately obstructing the minority when I'm trying to keep him to the rules. When you say the conduct of a judge, we're not talking about the personal conduct, who he slept with and who he didn't sleep with. We're talking about his work, how he conducted his work. You are saying that the committee conducted its work in an opaque manner. That's what you are saying. In darkness, that's what you are saying. And that the outcome of their work is a travesty of justice. That's what I'm saying. And you are not in court challenging the conduct of the committee. You are not. You as a person, you are not in court challenging the conduct of the committee. You know the rules in the Constitution regarding the work of the proceedings. You haven't shown at any stage that the rules in the Constitution governing the work of the committee have been breached in any way. How can you come and sit here and describe the work as opaque, travesty of justice, and improper removal, and etc., and expect me to sit here and allow you to do that? You are clearly violating the rules. And when I try to guide you how to go about your work, then you say that I'm trying to obstruct you.
Honorable Majority Leader, you've made your point. And again, if I'm called upon to do a ruling, the rules are clear that we should refrain from the use of offensive language. We are here for the purposes of vetting. A situation where the process will be used to describe the work of a committee to be opaque, meaning it was done in darkness, is offensive. Therefore, I would order that same be expunged from the record as if it doesn't exist. Honorable Minority Leader, proceed.
Chairman, with respect. Chairman, with respect, he raised the objection. You didn't give me the opportunity to respond. And you're saying that you have ruled. I mean, what is the fairness in this? He just raised the objection. He didn't refer to any rule this time. This time, he didn't refer to any rule. And then he says that we should go and do press conference.
Honorable Minority Leader, kindly proceed.
It is our contention that the process leading to the removal of Her Ladyship Justice Araba Isaba Tokonu was unfair, it lacked due process, it did not adhere to any constitutional procedure.
Chairman,
And
Chairman,
we
I
continue
hope, Chairman,
to say
I hope, Chairman, that persistently
any Ghanaian suffer second
violating
justice.
the rules of this House is a breach of privilege. You know that. Persistently
if that is
violating the rules of this House.
Chairman, we
Honorable
Minority
Leader.
He's made a point. Let me make a point with respect to you.
Honorable
Chairman,
Minority
let
Leader,
me
if you
make a
can
point.
hear me out,
Yes, let
maybe
me-
the point that you want to make, you may realize that it is not necessary. Honorable members, let's have it in mind that we are not sitting here as a committee over any decision made by another committee or a court of competent jurisdiction. So bringing same or making same as a subject matter of discussion, with all due respect, this is not fair to members of those committees and those who presided over those cases. So if we are playing by the fair principles, please let's refrain from all those things and be guided by our rules in raising our issues. Minority Leader, you just spoke about fairness. So is it fair that a committee that is not before us, their rulings are brought here and described in a manner unwarranted by our rules? So with all due respect, this will clearly be in breach of natural justice. We don't have the opportunity of the people being heard. So why are we commenting on them? So please, let's proceed. You can give your remarks, but be guided as such. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Permit me to enter this discussion. I think that, Mr. Chair, you have to look at this, the context within which the minority leader is making this speech. You have to recognize that there is a background to the nomination of the nominee. And it will look very odd that we can have this conversation, the vetting of the nominee, without reference. It appears that there is a gag order. Mr. Speaker, the minority will have its say, but the majority would have its way. So, Mr. Speaker, what is wrong? We've spent almost 1 hour going back and forth on this simple matter. And I think that it is important that the minority leader is given his opportunity to speak. Then the majority leader can set the record straight if he thinks that he has said something that is so. I think that we should allow the discussion to flow. Mr. Speaker, it's been 1 hour.
Order.
We are still going back and forth.
Honorable Tampuli.
Let's with respect,
Honorable
Mr.
Tampuli.
Chairman, thank you very much.
In this house, we play by the rules. Now, tell me, at vetting, in raising a preliminary issue, and preliminary issues are not questions for the nominee to provide an answer. Then you bring the work of another committee entirely to vetting, describing it in all sorts of ways. Should this be permitted? or it should not be permitted. So if we are all operating within the ambit of the rules, we will not have any problem. That is where the problem is coming from. The whole world is watching us. So I believe you agree with me that it is not proper, by way of preliminary issue, a work done by a committee should be brought at a vetting and be raised as a preliminary comment.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, I'm not sure the leader is re-litigating any issue. What the leader is doing, with respect, as far as I'm concerned, is that he is making commentary. That is his view, his judgment. And it is the view of the minority. And I think that it should be allowed to land. Then the majority leader can speak. Mr. Speaker, I think that, look, if we are going to be too, more or less fastidious about what he's saying, we can't make progress. With respect, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Tampoli, if you want to make progress, I think we can make progress. But if you deliberately don't want to make progress, we are deliberately trying not to make progress. Honorable Tampoli, guide me by the rules that govern the House. The actual rules that allow that in making your preliminary comment, you should be allowed to describe a work of a committee in a language in which the minority leader is describing them.
Mr. Speaker, in this standing orders, Mr. Speaker, may I refer you to Order 5?
Yes.
Order 5, with respect, Mr. Speaker. Order
Yes.
5.1, subject to the provisions of this Constitution and any other enactments. Where there is doubt, these rules shall be interpreted by Mr. Speaker. 2, in any case not provided for in these orders, Mr. Speaker shall decide on the procedural question. And finally, 3, in exercising the power conferred under this order, Mr. Speaker shall act in accordance with the Constitution. So we think that what you are doing,
yes,
it may not be provided for expressly.
No, but
so
what you are
doing,
saying,
what you are doing amounts to being guided by Order
the
5.
rules, yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So, Mr. Speaker, even under the Constitution, under
So you
Article
agree with me that I'm operating within the ambit of the rules?
With respect, Mr. Speaker, under Article 297, the Constitution even contemplates an instance where something will not be provided in the Constitution or any other law. And they say the parliament. So, Mr. Speaker, there are penumbra areas, there are gray areas where you fill in. And I think that you have to exercise your discretion to allow the minority leader to land. Because what he's saying doesn't amount to raising issues. Mr. Speaker, he's not here with a substantive motion to raise questions about whatever it is.
Honorable Tampoli.
We are dealing with
Honorable
comments.
Tampoli, I thank you very much for reading Order 5. I think Order 5 is clear as to why I am behaving the way I am behaving. But I can assure you that most of